G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on Gorge to watch two Conqueror 3 players battle it out on this beautiful map. The sheep have been changed. I'm loving the map now. Let's get to it. Spawning in on the south side of the map in the color orange, playing as the Order of the Dragon, it's Louis MT. And in the north side of the map in the color green, playing as the Ayyubids. Or the Ayyubids? The Ayyubids. It's Tips AOE.Twitch TV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gorge. It is a pleasure to have your company. If you're enjoying this content, then go ahead, leave a like on the video. I won't mind. And hopefully that actually gets you to go out and leave a like. So thank you. Anyway, let's get to it. Fun matchup today. We've got two variant civilizations facing off. The variant for the Holy Roman Empire and the variant for the Abbasid dynasty. Which age ups will we see? Most likely on the side of the Order of the Dragon, we'll see the... I'm going to go with the mine work. It just seems to make sense. And on the side of Tips, I suspect we're probably going to be seeing that very standard, that very... I guess it's become standard now, that growth opening coming out from the Eco Wing. It gives you 3 villages, and I think the big question is, what does he look to do to follow that up? Because one of the big things to note in this matchup, well, not in this matchup, but just against the Order of the Dragon, they want relics. They really badly want relics. So how are you going to deny those relics? Normally when it comes to dealing with the Order of the Dragon, there's a couple of, and any relic hogging civilization, Order of the Dragon, Holy Roman Empire, Juicy Legacy, back when they used to do that fast castle strategy. But there's a couple of tools that you can use. Number one is you want early units out. That's really important, just to deny opening prelates or scholars or whatever it is that they've got. Number 2 is you want to wall up the relics. So that might just be the ones that are on the backside, just walling up, say, these ones that are in the mid-map, which is about 4 of them. They're always going to get this 5th one. Well, not always. I mean, if you're incredible, if you're a Marine Lord-esque player, then sure. Probably not going to get this one. Yeah, 1 relic is pretty much standard for them. So I'm suspecting we're probably going to be seeing a fast castle into a Regnitz. Coming through from Louis MT today. There's the mine work, so no real surprise there. Let's check in on the other side of the map and see what Tips is up to. Tips about to age up, does have the resources, there we go, and it is going to be the growth. So no real surprises there. I think the big thing, or big question now for me is, does Tips go straight fast castle, or does he go into a second TC? Because you could go second TC into the fast castle and then look to get up very quickly using Culture Wing advancement. I think that's definitely a viable strategy, but if you do that, you're almost just giving away the relics. And remember what the Order of the Dragon does, right? What they want to do, they want to go into Castle Age. They want to get their Regnitz Cathedral. They want to collect their relics, and they just want to go up to the Imperial Age so they can have their Swabia. That's all they want. Whether Louis actually looks to do that, I suspect he probably will, because it just makes sense to get Imperial Age very early on as the Order of the Dragon. That's if he thinks he's got space to do it, and whether that space is justified or not. So we'll have to ride on board and see exactly how Tips looks to play. But at this stage of the game, it looks like it's just going to be 1 base play from him. Quite a few villagers on food still, which is interesting to note. Normally, you'd only see 3 or 4 villagers on food at this stage if he was going for a second TC. So I'm not thinking it's a second TC. He could just be looking to go Castle Age. Still got a lot of villagers on wood, though. Oh, I think he's looking to pick up the early bonuses here. So looking to go into the Golden Age. He's 5 out of 10 at the moment. That'll put him 6 out of 10. And that definitely makes sense. So he's got quite a lot of villagers here. Now, one of the things that you can do, because often we see players put like a whole bunch of houses down to reach their limit, but one of the things I haven't really seen people doing is just putting down lumber camps. I think I saw GUA do it once, where you put down like a lumber camp here, and then a lumber camp over here, and then a lumber camp over there. It's probably not like that big of a deal, right? Because like you're going to be throwing your lumber camps through the middle like that, but it's one of those things where, you know, it might add up over the course of a game. Wheelbarrow now going to be coming through as well for Tips, but the age up for Louis, it is through. In fact, the age up's about to come through for Tips as well. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing, but we'll ride back on board with Louis after this. There's the 3 vills coming out now. A lot of villagers on wood still, and yet to reach that timing just yet, that Golden Age timing. Walls now coming up on that south side outpost. Look at this positioning he's got. He's actually got a really nice position. I didn't even realize this. He must have gone for a deer push. Yeah, you can see that he has. Deer were initially down here, and he's pushed them up to the gold vein. So this is really, really nice. Outpost is going to be able to defend both the gold and the deer, which is going to give Louis plenty of food. On top of that, he's also got the berries, which are in this kind of close to the town center position. He's got a really nice spawn where he can just ignore the top side of his base completely. Stable will go up here, so looking for maybe one gilded horseman just to start with, just to put on a little bit of pressure. But I almost guarantee you he's just going to make one and then just go straight up to Castle Age behind it. And I think that's a really smart approach. All right, well, riding on board now with Tips on this north side. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing, as he's now got a lot of villagers moving over to gold. Does pick up the wheelbarrow and then moves straight over onto gold. A lot of wood in the bank. I don't know what's going on with Tips. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know what's happening right now. I will remind you, he is a Conqueror 3 player. He's really good. He's inside the top 100. But I don't know what's happening with this early game macro. If I was coaching him over on Patreon right now, which if you'd like to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to improve. There's plenty of good stuff over there. But I would be saying, hey, you've got a whole bunch of wood in the bank and you're not doing anything with it. Sure, you got your upgrades, and sure, you threw down a mill and all this stuff, but look at this. You could have 400 of another resource in the bank right now, and you've just kind of... I don't know what you've done with it. It's just sitting there. It's just useless. So that's something that Tips probably needs to go back to the drawing board, have a think about. Obviously, if he wanted to place a second TC, he would have gone out for stone. It's a little bit late for it now, as villager number 1 of the game will go down here. Louis MT going to be picking that one up for free, it feels like. Well, it'll probably be for free once the prelates come back out and start healing up the Gilded Horsemen. And now Tips going to have to run in very quickly. Threw down an emergency barracks, but then realized, oh, maybe it's not a good idea. Actually, I think it was just a little bit too far away from the TC, but now going to be looking to throw it down. Plenty of vills on this. 5 workers coming in from over here on this east side. Looking for some sort of harassment. Plenty of sheep under the TC as well. Have a look at this. 11. I think technically 12 because there's a carcass in there. Lots and lots of sheep. So he's going to be absolutely fine, but that Castle Age timing looked like it might be pretty badly affected here. Tips is well and truly behind compared to Louis at this stage of the game. Tips also throwing up the outpost on the gold. Definitely a wise decision, considering we already know what Louis is up to. And it is just the 1 horseman to start us off with. Now, the other thing that I would be expecting, I don't know if we'll see this, but once he reaches Castle Age, he'll also be looking to go into the Gilded Knight. But once again, it will only just be in a short supply or short amount of them. And then from there, he will just be looking to go into Imperial Age, just enough so he can basically secure relics. Now, when it comes to securing relics, what relics does he actually know about? He might lose this scout if he's not careful. So he doesn't know about this one. He knows about these 2 down here. He knows about this one on the top side, and he knows about this one down the bottom. So he knows about 4 out of 5. Doesn't know about the safe relic that's over here for Tips. Regnitz Cathedral now going to be coming down for Louis. No real surprise there, as Spears actually managed to take out the horseman. He wasn't looking, neither was I. No, not the sheep, you monster! Tips, don't do him like that. I'll be honest, I would have done him as well like that. That is exactly how you got to do it. When it comes to these... Oh, age up already coming through as well. Hold on. We got the Culture Wing logistics coming through. Okay, this is a great age up. My only fear is that it might be a little bit too late. Have a look at the timing difference we've got here, because this is something I've talked about in a previous Ayyubid video, but essentially you're not just delaying your age up by the 24 seconds difference that it is between the Culture Wing advancement and the Culture Wing logistics. You're also delaying it by however long it takes you to collect those extra resources. In this case, it's 400 extra resources. And that can take quite a bit of time. You can see with 700 food a minute coming through, you're close to about 30 seconds that it's going to delay you. So that's a pretty significant amount of time you've now got to wait and that you've got to play behind from, especially because you've only got 2 spears out. Age up comes through though for Louis. He's looking to move into Gilded Horseman of all things. We'll ride on board with him for a little bit, as he's got plenty of units going to come out for sure. Interesting upgrade as well, opting for forestry. Out of all the upgrades, it's forestry that he's going for. I wonder why. What is it about Louis that he's just said, you know what I need more of? I need more trees chopped down more quickly. That's what I need. Horsemen now coming out. That's going to be 2 Gilded Horsemen. Spear's just going to be camping up on the relic for the moment. Keep in mind, Tips has only got a single, or rather 2 spears. And he still has that age up coming through. But remember, once he gets to Castle Age, he should be able to deny quite a bit of the relics here, as long as he's able to stop them from being picked up. And that's the trouble. Oh, see, the prelate could have just dived in here. 100%. The prelate could have just dived in here. Lance Connector now coming out, looking to deal with these spears. Going to be forcing them away, and you can see big hit coming in immediately. And definitely the right call coming out from Louis to opt into infantry, rather than just playing with cavalry. Of course, we've already talked about that. And look at this, double attacks coming through. This could be bad for Louis on the south side. He may actually lose a villager here to the wolf. I think he will. I think he will. I think he will. He's going to lose it. He lost it to the wolf, and now he might lose one to the boar. No, no, no. It's just the one. It's just the one. Oh, my lord. Can you believe that? Louis MT lost a villager to the wolf. One of the best players in the world. Yep. That is a dead villager to the wolf. You saw it here first, folks. Wallalol, west side, scout. Not going to find it. Almost certainly. Almost certainly. That is, it is very hard to get a Wallalol on cavalry. Dervish, now in the middle of the map, forced back. Oh my lord, I totally missed this one, but you can almost guarantee that Louis almost pinched the relic away from his opponent. So at this stage of the game, it's one relic to one relic. Where are those dervish though? We need to find them. Second one, third one. He's sniped off this one on the backside. Coming to pick up the next relic in the middle. There you go. It's going to be 3. A little bit of an aggressive Wallalol here. Don't know if I like it. He could have held it for a little bit longer, I think. And now we'll manage to sneak. It's going to be 2 relics to 2. And Louis, with the last relic underneath his town center, is a happy camper. If he can get to 3 relics, I think he'll be happy. Obviously, if he got 4 relics, he'd be very happy. But I think Tips has done a great job of sneaking it out. But Tips is not finished just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in mind. And Louis might find himself stuck right here. Definitely feels like Tips is coming out very, very hard. Nice little... You can see that he really wants this relic. Got the dervish in the back. Camels come through, looking to try and pick off. They managed to find one of the prelates. Healing going to come through. No chance of a Wallalol. He's already used it. The numbers are looking pretty decent at this stage of the game here for Louis. Keep in mind that fifth and final relic has been spotted by both players. So there's nothing that actually stopped Tips from going around and sniping that one in as well. Dervish goes down. He's down to 2 dervish now. They're going to be looking to capture sacred sites. 1 to the north. 1 to the south. Oh. 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 All right. Who are you putting your bets on? Say now in the comments. Is it the prelate? Is it the dervish? Oh, he's got speed. Oh, he's hit the nos. Oh, I kind of like... yeah, it's a prelate. It's got to be the prelate. There ain't no way. Yeah. All right, Louis got it. Whew, tell you what. These have been some close relics, man. These have been close relics. Look at that. I think both of them have been within seconds of each other. And I'm going to compliment Tips. Managing to deny 2 relics is pretty good. I would be happy with that performance, Tips. That's good. You're still in trouble. You're still... I wouldn't say in trouble, but you are on 1 TC, right? You haven't gone at all for an eco-focus. Didn't go 2 TC into the fast castle. It's just 1 TC. And it's only a matter of time until that Imperial Age comes through. But the reality is, because of that 1 TC, I don't think at any stage of this game, Louis is going to feel pressured to go Imperial. If the second TC was in play, he would definitely be thinking, okay, Louis MT losing 2 villages on the south side. Jeez Louise, Tip's doing a good job here, picking off plenty of workers. He's taken out 4 already this game. So I think that Louis would definitely feel pressured if he saw that second TC had been dropped. But it's not. And so, as a result, I think he's going to be quite happy just camping it out in the Castle Age. Might look to mass units, because if there's anything that he's going to die to, it's going to be some sort of timing attack in the Castle Age. Maybe like a mix of Camel Lancers and... I don't even know. What do you mix with Camel Lancers? Like Mangonels, or in this case, Manganiques? I guess, maybe? We'll have to wait and see exactly how Tips looks to play this one out, but his position is still pretty solid. He's got a nice villager lead, but keep in mind that villager lead is reduced, mitigated, by the fact he's up against the Order of the Dragon. I'd love if we could have a recalculated amount. 35 times 0.1 or times 1.28. You know what? I was kind of tempted to like pick up my phone or ask the lady whose name starts with S, but I didn't do that just because well, you guys know what would happen. I'm curious though, because we could you could math it out. I'm gonna try and do it on the fly. I'm gonna go with 44 villagers. So 49 versus 44. I think that's about right. Somewhere in that region, probably a little bit too high. Maybe like 43.7. You know, reoccurring, of course. How good does that mean? That's an old school meme. Leroy Jenkins, one of the very first memes on the internet. Was it really? Because YouTube was if YouTube was around, then surely it wasn't one of the very first internet memes. Like, one of the very first internet memes was this song. Get ready for it. Maya he. Yeah, you guys remember Numa Numa. Gosh, that was, I'm pretty sure that was actually before YouTube. It had the guy with the head. He was singing, throwing his head around. Was it his head? I'm pretty sure it was his head. Maybe had his hands above his head. Gilded Knight, it's through. That's one worker down. Make it a second one, he says. Make it a double. Textiles is through. It's going to be a little bit more health to go through for the Gilded Knight. You can see how much he's struggling with it. Will manage to take it. Meanwhile, on that top side, it looks like he managed to pick up another worker kill somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Camels able to clean this up completely. Shouldn't even be close. The Camel Lancers, of course, the natural counter to any kind of cavalry on this field. Meanwhile, over on that west side, you can see that realistically, Louis doesn't really like his chances going Imperial. And I think that's quite interesting that you can't really go Imperial against the Ayyubids in this situation. Because obviously we've talked about the fact that it's 1 TC, it's not 2. But the other thing to note is, even if he went Imperial, let's say that he goes Imperial, he throws down the outpost, probably, if you're going to throw down the outpost, I mean, you probably put Swabia, maybe delete this, throw Swabia here. Outpost down around here. Fortify the outpost before you age up. And then as you age up, you get the cannon emplacement. You're up against Camels. These guys are not particularly potent when it comes to that sort of fight. But speaking of fight, we're about to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. The Camels have decided to pick a fight with the Order of the Dragon. Lynch Connector, got to be careful. They will get picked off by those archers, and it looks like this sacred site is going to be neutralized today. You can hear multiple sacred sites being neutralized all around this map currently. The only thing I fear right now is a big message popping up on my screen saying, "Sacred site taken. New goal." That's what I don't want to see. That's what I don't want to see. But what I do want to see is some action. Get on in there. Get in there, Tips. This is a great combo coming out from him. Archers. I'd love to see him mix in maybe just a few crossbows with these archers. But you may open yourself up to mangoes if you do that. At the moment, not really that exposed. Mangoes is when it starts to get difficult, because then you go into a game of skill. And you don't want to do that against one of the best players in the world. And there's nothing worse than facing somebody who's much more skilled than you in a battle of skill. That's why I like to cheese my victories. That's why I only do lame strategies. Golden Age Tier 3 already? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's only 30 structures. It's not like it's the 60 from the Abbasid dynasty. So I guess it's not that bad. But 100% at this stage of the game, Louis is really committed to playing out in the Castle Age. Definitely doesn't see Imperial as his win condition at this stage. Just looking to try and play it safe. Looking to outplay the opponent. Neutralizing the sacred site. Looking to do a bit of a wraparound. A little bit of a wraparound. Let's see if he's able to find it. There we go. Comes in. Archers teeing off towards the back. Plenty of spears here. Keep in mind, these guys are gilded. So while it might not look like a most formidable army, it is very formidable. These units are all gilded. Archers teeing off. Plenty of camels in here, though, looking to buy a little bit of space. Archer numbers have begun to fall. Gilded Knights doing a good job on the front line. Camel just runs straight into a spear. It looks like we're having kebabs for dinner, Mum. Horse kebabs. Actually, camel kebabs. Ugh, I don't know how I feel about that. What do you reckon camel tastes like? I'm going to go with probably like horse. And what does horse taste like? Well, probably like camel. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just sitting here, right, like, just imagining. What does a camel burger taste like? Oh, gosh. Now I've got myself thinking. But you know who's not thinking? Louis MT. He's just doing. He's out here doing. He's out here crushing. Absolute cleanup. Not even close, he says. And now, Louis looks to finish the game off. 19 minutes into it. Tips. He's going to need a few tips after this one. I suspect that may be the case as Louis begins chasing away the Gulams. How do you even deal with this? I don't even know, man. I thought his combo was pretty good. I was impressed, but I feel like the archer numbers were what kind of let him down. But going into archers, it's so difficult, because if you go to too many archers, you just open yourself up for mangoes. So it's one of those things where it's a really hard spot. You can't go into... I was thinking maybe he could go into Gulams, which is just done, but then it's like then you're open to Lynch Connect. So, yeah, where do you go? I think you just have to play like a game of skill, or maybe you don't even fight. Maybe you get a keep down. I think that's the play. You got to fight for position. Oh, but then you're really playing a game of skill. Gosh, I don't like skill, man. Skill's the worst. How can you blame your opponent? How can you blame you? Oh, man, that's tough. It's tough. All right, good luck to Tips. This is not going to be an easy game here from him. Looks like the Imperial Age will be coming through. Have a look at this timing. Just after the 20-minute mark. So not going to qualify for that fast Imperial. Though it is kind of crazy to think you'd call a 20-minute Imperial from an Order of the Dragon player fast. That's not really fast, is it? Like, I feel like 15 minutes is fast. Well, I guess fast is context, right? Fast is dependent on circumstances. Because if you're playing, if it's a naked fast Imperial, then 15 minutes is pretty slow. But if you're making units, 15 minutes, that's pretty quick. Carlos de Suabia will now go down. We'll be in the back of the base up against the wood line. No real surprises here. 20 minutes, 30 seconds. So with this, there's a couple things to look for. Number one, he's reaching Imperial Age, which means he unlocks access to new units. We're going to be watching out for the Culverin. I doubt he's going to need it. Doesn't really seem like Mangonels are a big threat against this army. It's all melee. Get off my screen. Get off my screen. Other things that are going to unlock, of course, are techs. So we're going to be looking at things like Gilded Spears. Elite Gilded Spears. I think that's probably going to be the go-to here. Spearmen are incredibly strong in the Imperial Age, just because they're a really cheap unit. So if you can make lots of them, you can get really good efficiency out of them, and they kind of do well against everything. And even though technically, yes, the archer counters them, if you get a spearman up against an archer, nice and close, and it's got its elite upgrades in, archer's not going to have a good fight. All right, upgrades are coming through, and of course, Louis MT going for the infamous Imperial Age technology textiles. Great to see from Louis. This is, of course, what I always get when I reach Imperial Age. Tex, for anybody not aware, I'm being sarcastic. Textiles is a feudal age technology that increases villager health by 25. But it's not 25. It's 25 for other civs. It's 32 for the Order of the Dragon because they got stronger villagers. So technically the tooltip is wrong. And it is going to be elite spears. So no real surprise right there coming in from Louis. Exactly what we'd expect. So how do you deal with this? Well, you can go into a lot of archers. But then you've obviously opened yourself up to mangoes. We've mentioned that like 12 times this game, Drongo. So that's one thing. Realistically, I think Archer Ghulam kind of makes sense, but then you got to deal with Gilded Knights. It's not an easy spot. Elite upgrade almost 3. No elite army tactics, fortunately. Just yet up to 17 Gilded Spears. Sacred Site neutralized, looking for a keep on the north side. Doubtful that it will get up as the Gilded Lancers run in behind, or Gilded Knights run in behind. Meanwhile, on the south side, we've got ourselves another battle beginning to unfold. Camel on the backside needs to be up here debuffing all these units. The Ghulams together with the Spears looking to hold on, but unfortunately they are overwhelmed. Meanwhile, towards that top side, the villagers have been taken out. Louis with 15 worker kills already this game, and you can just see the power of those gilded units, able to completely eviscerate the army from Tips. He's trying his best to micro it out, but remember, you're up against gilded units here. They are so much stronger. It's just harder to take them down. You can see this elite gilded spearman is just tanking up all the damage from that volley, surviving through that initial burst. And Louis manages to make it Imperial Age without dying. Tips did the right thing. He pushed when Imperial Age came. But he knows he's behind. He knows he needs to win now. If he doesn't win now, things will go downhill very quickly. Behind this, he's adding in farms. He's looking for a transition. Could be opting for a second TC himself. Does indeed opt for that second TC himself. I don't know how long that's been up for. But now on this front line, more spears are needed to deal with his imminent threat. Horseman still yet to be upgraded. We can see the elite upgrade coming through now. Another 30 seconds to go on it. Elite spearman is through. Cavalry on this top side. Ideally, you want to rally up units to help deal with this, but there's not a lot of barracks here. Meanwhile, towards that front, he's trying to find a way through to find some villagers, almost certainly. He needs to even up this villager count. Not even it up, but he needs to get a villager advantage right now. This is the moment. This is where it really counts. Gilded Horseman absolutely surrounding everything. He's got, looks like the Black Rider from Age of Empires 3 right there, as it does unfortunately go down. But I tell you what, Tips, it's been a tough game for him. It's unfortunate to see it go this way. But in the end, I can't help but feel like there is only 2 letters about to be typed in this game. Spearman looking to try and chase this raid on the backside. Won't be able to find it as the splits happen. Have a look at this. We got Louis MT. He's also a gymnast. I don't know if you guys knew about this. Look at him splitting off units in every single which way. I wish I had that control, but unfortunately I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, go and check Tips out. Of course, if you didn't realize, he's a Twitch streamer, as per the name. I'll leave a link down in the description. Go check him out. Pretty impressive play there from Louis MT on the Order of the Dragon, and realizing that, hey, I didn't need to go Imperial Age to win this game. I could do it in Castle Age. Made sure he didn't die to the Ayyubids.